Hello, and welcome back to Kaiserreich. In between the last episode and this episode, I did some very light reading on what's going on in Russia right now, and Alexandra Kollontai, this woman, was a Marxist feminist, and her leading the Russia is kind of mad. It's kind of insane. It means that the left wing of the Bolsheviks, or the left wing, these aren't Bolsheviks, of course, they're the syndicalists, but the left wing of the of this this left the left wing of the left revolution or whatever in Russia here got in control, as opposed to the Bolsheviks or Leninists in the actual revolution, which are the right wing of the whole revolutionary group. And she was a lot more progressive than a lot of the Soviets that took control after in the 1920s, 1923 or whatever, at the end of the Civil War. And it's interesting because she was also apparently appointed as a diplomat to Norway in 1922, and she received the Order of St. Olav, which is one of the highest decorations in Norway, in 1946, which is kind of cool. That's just very interesting to me. There's her whole bio in this world, so you can read it. You can pause and read it. But yeah. Anyhow, let's get back to the game. I'm going to avoid integrating these provinces because they're very expensive. I think I'm going to I'm going to wait until we get I need to I need to be at war again, but I think I'm going to wait until we get to the point where we get that reduction, right? Like the New Deal. What does the integration do? It gives us cores, right? And the cores make it so that it's not occupied territory, which increases our manpower and all that stuff, right? It's not occupied territory anyways. Huh. But what's the point of the integration? I don't know what the cores actually do in this circumstance. Ah, eligible non-core population. What else does it give us? Is building in non-cores do worse? I don't know. Do they have less building slots available? I don't know. 2% of state's manpower, and on top of that, we'll get following modifiers because of its occupation status, local resources minus... Okay, that's a lot. Huh. Local factories minus 65%. So, could there be factories there that we aren't allowed to use? I mean, I see one over there. We have 4 right now. 2, 3. That's a 4th. 5. 6. So we are being reduced by the integrations, and we're being reduced by consumer goods, right? Because 1 factory is being used for consumer goods, leaving us 3 factories. Bulgarian government overthrown. Boris III, Social Democrats. Ban Turkish political parties, okay. Radical Socialists, Caballistas, don't know what that means, but we should probably send volunteers over there as well. How's it going for us in here in the United States? Not amazing. Yeah, let's send 1 infantry division over towards Spain, why not? Let's send one with quite a lot of experience so we can get them up to, really high experience, I guess. Let's send one that has artillery as well, a really strong one. Like this one. Doesn't have any experience, though. I think that we're gonna find that that's a problem with a lot of them. This one does have some. How about you in the second one? Wide, shallow infantry. Infantry with artillery. Yeah, we're gonna send the most experienced one. This one. Cool. Just gonna check if they were at war with the Kingdom of Finland, but they're not. What if the Kingdom of Finland will be freaking out about the Soviets on their border? Udon clique joined the Northern New Zealand clique. So that's problematic. That means we will be fighting both of these if we go west. Now, now that I saw that whole factory issue, I think I'm actually going to integrate the provinces. Just immediately. Chile has joined the Third International. Very cool. No new decisions from that. But it is necessary. Oh my god, I can have 57 supported divisions right now. My manpower is huge. Militia. Infantry equipment 300. Infantry equipment on wide shallow 600. So it's double infantry equipment on infantry versus militia. Infantry with artillery 800. We do like the infantry with artillery, though. Even though I don't like the line artillery at all. I think we're gonna do this instead of the tank. We need that aluminium, so I think we may need to do that decision to prospect for aluminium. So we succeeded in one battle, let's succeed in another one. We have arrived in Barcelona. So we should probably haul ass and get to, let's see, what locations are of importance here. This bulge, it could be somewhere we could fight. Beating the Carlists seems like a good idea. But they have fortresses and stuff up here and some gnarly terrain to fight in. I think the first thing we do is rush that bulge in order to help out. Oh, whoa. Red Spanish Volunteers, Syndicate Volunteers, cool. No problem with those names. How about we maybe put her in charge and start training up a general? Because she's not very experienced. China Theater. Those can stay because they're just going to be renamed anyhow. So this is our combat log for the last 12 months. We can't actually go any further than that. Interesting. So we have technically lost about... Yeah, we've lost way more. It's starting to count down. It's starting to time out. Win ratio of 57%. Man, look at this dude. Who's fighting for the Shandong clique. Yeah, we have nothing to do really over there. All we're doing now is fighting in volunteer wars. Let's get this done. Oh, nice. I need to pin him so that we don't they don't get encircled there. We need to let, or give the syndicalists some space to move around. Why do you have Marines? Yeah, we need to give the syndicalists some space to move around here. And fill the gaps. This may have saved the syndicalists quite a bit of headache. Vitally important that we hold them. There's no chance of taking Philadelphia. Do we start the Congress? Infantry equipment is good, but why really? I mean, it gives us the political power for the integration. Yeah. Don't usually use the minimap, honestly, but I'll keep it up, I guess. Let's move. Yeah, let's move over here to move the infantry here. Get them involved. I'm helping. Oh, that's beautiful. We're lacking steel and aluminium, actually. It's kind of shit, kind of trash. Resource gain efficiency will help us a bit, but how much we have in terms of resources? We have steel. That's it. That's about it. It's a 10% increase. I don't even know if that's going to do anything. See if there's anything else we can do in the meantime. We aren't getting to the point where we're doing infantry equipment yet, so maybe we just do it, I guess. Yeah, I think we just do it, because the tanks, it's gonna be a long time until we start doing that anyways. We can probably start doing the tanks in a bit, after we've done infantry equipment, I think. Oh, we're so close to Madrid. I think we are going to entrench here and hold for a bit. And here in good old America, I'll help out, but it's not going to do anything. This fight here is futile. Now this, however, Newark. If we take Newark and open up the way between New York City and all that, that would be huge. I believe. This is extremely scary. The AUS pushing all the way up on Chicago there. Oh, we have a free civilian factory. It's probably from the integration. Oh my god, that's so many as well. Let's see, where do we have... we have 50% there on infrastructure, we have 50% there. And we have 50% there, but that one is full. That's fine. Yeah, let's request support equipment always, we need that. The French are just running out, though. So let's see. Yeah, they are attacking in Newark. Or they're attacking, yeah, from Newark, rather. There's our militia. Of course they did. I really want to make that that tank division and start making them, because we have so much space for divisions, but I'm just gonna start a second line of infantry with artillery. I'm going to spawn them way up there. We just have to make sure we are outpacing our yeah, we aren't outpacing our no, we actually are. Never mind. I was about to say we aren't outpacing our consumption of infantry equipment. I think that's exclusively due to fighting that it's becoming problematic. Which is fine, because we're not going to be fighting at all times. So over time, it's going to build up. They're attacking across a major river, but they are, yeah, they're not getting help from here, so that is just completely suicidal. Is that Georgia? Yes, that is Georgia. Georgia is involved, and that is Hawaii. Georgia and Hawaii are in bed with the Kingdom of Spain. Very strange. Georgia, what are you doing? Social conservatives under Ekvetim Takaishvili, okay. Ili is like, that's the only sort of surname style that I know of in Georgia because of Josip Jugashvili, which is Joseph Stalin's real name. Terrible dude. Terrible dude. Interesting past though. Let's do land use tax. See if we can't get our consumer goods requirement down. Integrate. I do think. Oh, I love the song. I do think that we may want to start building more civilian factories. Actually, Declaration of the People's Republic of Argentina. Maybe we'll get Chile and Argentina in the International. And even more free dockyards. Oh my god, we have so many. We need to really get this bread. By that I mean we need to really get this But are we actually making? Yeah, we are making tanks. Cool. We need to really get this I completely forgotten what I was saying. Navy experience. Though I don't even think it's going to be enough to build destroyers. But what we want to do is we want to make submarines because they're cheap and you can mass manufacture them because and that those will be useful in potentially starving the Empire of Japan of oil, which will then completely negate their entire army. Since we have no air force to speak of and no tanks to speak of, those submarines will still have fuel to operate. Now, of course, we are completely, like, we are well and truly fucked if the Japanese decide to go down south and they actually manage to get a hold of this, I guess, for the oil here. Where's the big oil? Isn't there a big oil here? I guess it's just rubber. I thought there was a big oil in Southeast Asia. No, it is just 25, 16, and 10. 13, 2. Okay, it's pretty big actually. it's decent. It's very good. I mean, it's no Texas, but this plan has now become trash because of the changing borders. That's fine. I kind of want to fight this guy. Loyalty has its own rewards. Oh no. On our own, loyalty has its own rewards. Oh no, he's going to become friends with the Germans. Oh no. How are you guys still holding on? I've just completely forgotten about you. Let's just, we have to export the revolution everywhere. let's export the revolution. Infantry with artillery, right? Infantry with artillery. They are not very trained. We have one that is trained over here, right? Fairly trained. That one. Anyone else we need to send volunteers to? I don't think there are any leftists in Africa. And we're not sending anyone to totalists. Like, the Baratia commune, if you... Like, you guys are on your own. And you as well, Union of Britain. I'm not helping you. But I will help France if anything happens. I think we're just going to keep on pumping out the militias, and then we're going to start gradually turning them into into infantry armies when we need to. In fact, we can do something over here and start training these guys, so we get that army experience up, because I just completely forgot that that was a thing, and because I've basically been on like, you know, savings mode this entire time, trying to not use any infantry weapons or infantry equipment. I think we're going to create 2 more of those, and that's going to be it, so that we can split them up into different groups if needed. Are you encircled? I don't know. I don't think you are, but no, I think you are actually. Let's rush them and try to help them out. Oh, this is so fucking scary, dude. And they have cavalry that's helping them out. That's part of the problem there. I might actually have to shift over to the left here, or the west rather. Let's see. We got pushed back, I think, over here. We're completely out of our organization. I think it's also because our general is kind of trash that it's taken time for us to get it back. Let's see, let's fight the Vietnamese Army here. I do think actually we need to hold Saigon, so I'm gonna help out. We have to not lose Saigon, because if we do, we are kind of fucked. First repatriated Congress of the Kuomintang. Damocles project in France, right? The French are making nukes, I think. Or is that the Germans making the nukes? I forget. It's one of them. Doesn't matter, we're neither of them. We're probably not going to have nukes at all. Call to convene the National Congress. Foundation of the Congress will be in the 1924 National Congress, which was set up to organize the party into an official government. Okay, so now we're doing reflections on past events and stuff. Oh yeah, we need to actually get you a general. You have artillery, so artillery specialist isn't that bad. Fortress Buster, are we fighting fortresses here? I don't think so. I think they are kind of... yeah, it's just terrain. Planning speed, completely useless. Reconnaissance, really good. Attack is really good as well. That doesn't lead to anything right now. Guerrilla fighter wouldn't be the worst to have on at least one guy. Movement bonus on land enables ability to makeshift bridges. Movement bonus on land is kind of cool, but I'm going to go with a guerrilla fighter. The idea being our units down here is going to be really helpful in taking land and holding it. KMT votes on adopting official history of the First Northern Expedition. After much build-up with the Revolutionary Army, the Revolutionary Army marched north against Sicily in an effort to unify the country, but this failed. Many points have been brought up as such, the KMT lacking the people's support or intervention from foreign powers, specifically Germany. We should decide which of these arguments are more compelling to use as the root cause of the failure to unify the country. So this gives social democracy and social liberalism support. This gives radical socialism, imperialists and traitors. I mean, I don't think... So, there's arguments for both sides, right? Having the support of more people, of course, means that you have a more logistical base to like work off of, and you have more people, like more soldiers, straight up, more people to carry guns and shoot them. But there's also an argument to be made that if you are a bunch of peasants with whatever weapons you've stolen fighting some people who are getting sent tanks, guns, and planes from Germany, who are the largest power in the world right now, you're kind of fighting an uphill battle. Imperialists and traitors. A radical anarchist seized power in Argentina. After socialist victory in the Argentino-Chilean War, wait, yeah, but you're now on the same side. The government seemed to be slowly settling down for the Argentinian nation. However, The results of the recent Argentinian Trade Union Congress seem to have not been satisfactory for the Union Sindical Argentina. While the moderates accepted the result, the radicals quickly staged their own takeover and, led by Severino di Giovanni, were able to beat the government's forces in Buenos Aires. After marching on the presidential house, they proceeded to take over the Congress, where Severino has now been sworn in as chairman. The rivaling units of the USA have been removed from the Congress. Whether this will put an end to the violent political disputes in Argentina or further inflame tensions with the war-weary populace, it remains to be seen. Comrade against comrade, is this really the way? Radical anarchists have banned the other unions and sworn in a chairman in the presidential palace. That seems a little bit strange. Usually the problem with anarchists is that they tend to not get anywhere because they're too, they are completely against doing that kind of stuff. Which I don't say there's a problem with being against, authoritarian measures. By no means. In fact, I find myself more than sympathetic with the anarchists in most of the situations where they're, like in, for example, Ukraine versus the Soviet Union and stuff like that. And, of course, Spain versus the communists there. The question of ethnic autonomy. Much of China outside the 18 provinces has effectively become independent, and there are many ethnic separatist movements. The goal is to unite all the territory of the old Qing back into a single Chinese nation. With the adoption of federalized ethnic zones inside a Greater China, allow for the security and allegiance of non-Han peoples. No, China must be truly unified, or yes, it is the best way of reunifying the country. Yes, I do think we should have federalized ethnic zones. Well, no, ethnic zones are kind of spooky. I don't like the idea of ethnic zones, but there needs to be a way of like maintaining the. There has to be a way of maintaining the actual needs and the culture and everything of minority peoples in a large country like this. In Norway, for example, the Sami people in northern Norway up here in Finnmark, that's the Finnmark Plateau, but this is also Finnmark up here, and this is Troms. So it's kind of, it's all been combined into one, but the Sami people have their own democracy, their own parliament, which is sits at the side of the Norwegian parliament, which but, it's situated up here, like, physically speaking, but in terms of power, it legislates next to the Norwegian Parliament, kind of like the Scottish Parliament, even though the Scottish Parliament, I guess, is beholden to the English Parliament. But it legislates on specific issues for the Sami people. And I do think something like that in China would be a good idea. So I do think that's a good idea. Yeah. So what's going on here? We are running out of equipment because we're out of infantry equipment and light tanks. No supply from capital. Strange, we do have a line to the capital. The question of syndicalist parties. The KMT's party program for developing China plans that only the KMT will be allowed to exist as a full political party for the period of political tutelage. So that's the idea that, there can be only one party before, like, that has to develop the people and develop the political culture and nation so that it's on one track, and then you can have multiple parties when everyone is already on the same page. Which, I sort of question that idea, the methodology of that. As a precondition of syndicalist aid, we have made exemptions for the Chinese Syndicalist Party and several other minor urban syndicalist groups, should the syndicalist parties be given an exception to the ban on public recruitment in the realm of organizing urban labor. Yes, Chinese labor should be able to choose to join syndicalist-aligned unions, yeah. The idea here with the left Kuomintang, I think, is that we are creating our own socialism with Chinese characteristics, which is separate from the syndicalist faction, I believe. I'm not 100% sure how all this works, but yeah. Status of Whampoa Academy. No idea what that is. The Whampoa Military Academy is long gone. However, many in our government and military wish to see it brought back. It is hard to disagree with this point, as our army is woefully behind many of our competitors. If we bring it back, we can begin to once again have a strong army, which will make our victory over China all but assured. With all that put to rest, we have two questions. Do we either restore it as it was before or give it a modern touch as warfare has changed since the time of the expedition? Simply restore it, or a new academy for a new China. Oh, army experience for political power. That is a trait I will always take. Anytime. It means we can't assign a minister, but that's fine. Oh, weapons manufacturer would be good. Should have done that earlier, actually. Or when we do the... We'll do that for the next... next one, I think. Which is going to be in not too long, actually. We can't recall them. I don't think that's possible, right? You'll lose all of its equipment and 80% of its manpower, yeah. I just wanted to recall them and send infantry because they're just running out of tanks. Portugal has joined the Entente. Direction of the National Revolutionary Army. I think that's what it stands for. Several ideas of how to conduct warfare have emerged. Two ideas have emerged as most prominent, with the first being the possibility of using our vast manpower as our strength. This isn't particularly unique among the armies of China, however, there is nothing wrong with using a reliable method. The second idea is modernization of our armies, which will ensure that when it comes to fighting, our soldiers will be far superior to the enemy. Manpower is key, or modernization is key. I'm going to say modernization is key. I mean, we are doing the mass assault doctrine, but that doesn't necessarily mean, like, we're not doing mass mobilization. We're doing deep battle. We are still focusing on modernization. Guangdong clique took 5 states. Guangdong clique won over the right KMT. You had your chance. Motherfuckers. Reflection of previous leaders. We can all agree that both Sun Yat-sen and Chiang Kai-shek did a lot for the KMT. What is up for interpretation is whether or not, or whether these figures were good for China. Of course, Sun Yat-sen had many amazing qualities, however he seemed desperate to hold on to power. This could also be interpreted as him trying to make sure the KMT survives. Chiang Kai-shek is up for debate as he did a lot for the military, however he also oversaw the disaster of the Northern Expedition. They're both father and son of China. Both were good for China, but perhaps we could downplay how much. Yeah, I think we should downplay it. Again, this is really interesting, the whole, like, how these a lot of these, like, left-wing revolutionary governments are immediately trying to sort of, like, figure out who we are and what is our story and what story will we tell the future and how will the way we tell this story impact the future of our nation. It's very interesting. This happened a lot in China, and with, like, the Sino-Soviet split, for example, the Chinese, like, rewrote a lot of their history, and so did the Soviets over time as well. They rewrote a lot of their history as well. It's like a thing that happens all the time there. Report on the Jiangfu government. Song Jingling has been the acting governor of Fujian province and the Jiangfu zone for much of the last 10 years. Her administration has, through creating a form of locally run one-party democracy, created an alternative version for how the national revolution can be done that opposes the top-down nature of the Jingwei program. Minsheng faction members criticize the idea of the Jiangfu program being expanded to all China as being impractical, but its implementation has proven economically and militarily successful and very popular with Fujian province locals. Officially recognize the Jiangfu province as experiment as a success. Yeah, I believe local democracy is cool. We're probably going to end up as Social Democrat, I'm guessing. KMT Minsheng and KMT Mingquan. Oh, KMT Populist Democratic faction. Moderate Democratic. Central Bureau for Intelligence and Special Methods. Okay, that is that is the KMT's KGB, I'm guessing, and that is the Syndicalist Party. Cool, okay. Peasant Movements, National Populist, ooh. Review of the War of the Five Provinces. Try to smell if my landlord is cooking something, or my apartment is on fire. A review of the War of the Five Provinces. A review of the current situation of the National Liberation Zone and its recent expansion out of Jiangfu after the last campaign has been drafted by the NRA. The general consensus of all involved advises caution in moving north against the Zhili too soon. majority of the NRA's old guard favors focusing on reunifying southern China before daring to cross the Huai. I do agree with that, but the young guard and their allies in the civilian KMT, such as Zhou Enlai, advise an opportunistic stance towards an inevitable war within the Zhili clique and itself, or Fengshan. Well, yeah, I mean, if they're fighting, then yeah, we should run in, right? Because they aren't that powerful, are they? 80 to 44, 41. They have a lot of factories, I think. Yeah, they have a lot of factories. But manpower-wise, we are bigger. But if they're fighting the Fengshan government, we should rush. See, this gains Wei Li Huang, which grants Chief of Army Static Defense Doctrine, Division Attrition -10%, Attrition Speed +10%, Division Defense +10%, removes Insurgent Army, and enables some extra military ministers. Oh, we're removing Insurgent Army. That's both good and really bad. Because I really like those modifiers, but oh well. Division limit +12. Oh no. Favor Opportunism in the north, which grants Elastic Defense Doctrine, Supply Consumption, -10%, Division Defense +10%. Both of them are cool, but one of them is better, because it gives Entrenchment and Division Defense. And Attrition. This is Don't Interfere in the NRA Strategic Planning. Let's favor Opportunism in the north. Let's see who our Chief of Staff are. Attack and Population. And that is Supply Consumption and Division Defense. Towed Artillery Construction, Artillery Attack. Suitable Population, Division Speed, Motorized, no, don't need that. Oh, Organization and Recovery Rate is really good, but that is also good. I think we swapped the other one for the Organization and Recovery Rate, right? We don't need the Special Forces. How about you? Army Experience Gain, Daily, Organization Loss when moving and planning speed. Oh, these are all so good. Land Night Attack, oh my god. Land Night Attack is actually so good, because, that gives us 50% attack up on our opponent half the time. Like whenever there's nighttime. It's pretty big. This is also good. +5 organization for all leg infantry. But I think we're going to go with this. The soft attack. See what's going on in Vietnam. Spain, doing fine. Doing okay. America, doing not so great. Election of the new KMT Central Committee. The Mingquan Populists become the ruling party. After a series of debates during the Congress of the Mingquan faction, has secured a majority and have taken over the Kuomintang to serve as leaders of the Republic. To begin to implement the many reforms that are proposed to modernize our nation into a force that can unify this broken country. The Congress is over, and now Song Ching-ling leads our country. Third and final wife of Dr. Sun Yat-sen. Huh. Interesting. Social Democrats, Syndicalist Alliance, Social Democrats. Assert independence from Beijing. And then choosing a capital. Let's revive the China program. That is the revive China program. Gives us industry. Prepare for the second Northern Independence. Expedition. Unlocks a decision to begin the second expedition against the Qing government. I think that is a good one to have in your back pocket at all times in case there is a war. Plan the Western expedition, though, is a lot more useful, but the problem is we have no way of getting there. So we actually have to do some sort of southern expedition, but we have no... Oh, and never mind, we have a United Southern China. Yeah. Lingguang, you're about to feel the wrath of the north here. What are we gonna put on you? Oh, you might actually be a good, Okay, that's good, because if we are expecting to have, less air superiority than the enemy, but it's never good to plan for a loss. Oh my god, this video is 40 minutes. The First Party Congress of KMT ended with the Ming-Kuan faction overtaking the Ming-Sheng faction as leaders of the KMT. After the Congress, the right wing of the Ming-Kuan faction, led by Sun Fo, discussed with the left wing and the Ming-Kuan faction their desire to become their own individual faction. Although Song Jingling tries to persuade him to stay in the Ming-Kuan faction, Sun Fo and his followers have decided to leave. It seems that if the Ming-Kuan faction calls for an election, Sun Fo and his followers will participate as an independent faction. Okay. So we now have another faction, the Social Liberals, the KMT, the right-wing KMT. So those are the right wing of our politics. Which is cool. Oh, no! Prioritizing modernization means we can't go down this path. Oh, but I like this path so much. Oh well. There's the ethnic autonomous zone, and this is the unitary government. It's a recognized urban syndicalist, which we have to do. We can't do this one, which is All China National Labor Syndicate. Oh, one research slot. Really good. Let's do this first. But this is the end of the episode. Sorry, I need to stop before I keep going. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.